Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the Nexus. I'm your host, Corey. For those of you just joining the podcast, we are KG Nexus AI and we specialize in providing business intelligence and analytics solutions to help businesses scale their revenue. Joining us today is Michael Salorio, a true entrepreneur with a fascinating journey across several industries. Michael serves as the president and CEO of Solentrex, Inc., where he leads ongoing business development and strategic planning. Prior to Solentrex, Michael spent over 3 years at Citi as a vice president and senior wealth relationship manager, and he also worked as an assistant vice president and financial solutions advisor at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. This experience, it definitely gives Michael a unique perspective on managing significant wealth, driving business growth, and strategic development. Michael, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Corey.
No problem at all. Well, very excited to have you here, so let's jump right in. Tell us a bit about your background and the journey that led you into the solar energy sector.
Yeah, so my background comes mainly in the finance space, kind of coming out of my master's program, went kind of into that buy-side advisory for private equity firms, transitioned more into that personal finance, as kind of mentioned earlier, working at Merrill Lynch and Citibank. I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, looking for something that was going to, really change my, typical 9 to 5 to something that's more of a legacy. And my business partner and our co-founder, Brian Parks, and I first started talking about this opportunity actually in late 2023. And we saw a huge gap in technology in the current solar space. And solar is very much in its infancy, and we really wanted to hit that curve right before it really took off. And so we kind of mapped out everything, did a little bit of our due diligence. And when we saw the opportunity, we just wanted to dive headfirst into it.
Yeah, it's definitely in its infancy. I do see, obviously everyone is connected through the electric company as the primary source of electric energy. But solar is definitely, to me, like, I'm very interested in solar. I think it's a nice clean energy way to go to try to, obviously it'll help out the environment and whatnot using solar energy. But there's definitely a lot of misconceptions about the solar industry. You hear a lot of people think and say out loud that solar is a scam, or it doesn't actually save you any money compared to just sticking with the electric company, or they just don't see any benefit to it. How would you tackle those issues? Like, how would you address those people who have these misconceptions of the solar industry?
I think it's a very valid concern, especially, early on, solar really didn't get the best rap, especially when, brand new industries breaking out. A lot of technological advances really need to happen, and we're seeing that both on the data side as well as the efficiency side, for panels and inverters, and really drilling down on making sure that we're able to convert it at the right efficiency so it actually makes sense. And so I think now it's starting to actually become more and more prominent of a reason to switch than, kind of in the last 10 years or so. Like I said, a couple of things. The databases that we now have access to with our softwares that actually make it more accurate as far as production is concerned. The efficiency of the panels is greatly increased while also bringing down the overall cost. Because at the very beginning, solar is very expensive for not the production that, we're seeing now. And so having, kind of the best of both worlds as technology advances, the panels get more efficient, the panels get cheaper to manufacture. And now we're kind of seeing that shift of it's actually working. And the other thing too, people have to realize is these utility companies, they have a lot of fixed assets, fixed costs. And so as people start switching to alternative energy, these utility companies are going to have to pay their dividends out, which they're really well known for. And that's going to come through these constant rate increases.
Right.
You have all these AI data centers that are coming in now. They're going to get priority over residential just because of the money that's in them. And eventually you're going to start seeing a lot of these utility companies raising 15-20% potentially year over year just to keep up with the ongoing costs. So it's very quick, free to even get an estimate based on your current usage. And if it's not right for you at the time, there's no reason not to check back a year from now.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that makes perfect sense. Well, let's jump into Solentrex. Tell us about Solentrex and what you do and who do you do it for?
Yeah, so Solentrex is going to be the first and complete end-to-end software for the solar industry. So very similar to a lot of other industries where one platform can run the entire business from front to end and allow non-manual processes, being able to own your data, things like that. Solentrex is going to come in and be that force of before someone even goes and talks to someone at the door, all the way through post installation and being able to manual that process. We have implemented a ton of AI and automation into our platform. And the databases that we currently are using really only came out about 4 to 6 months ago. So we have access to a lot more information, being able to provide that, more accurate and straightforward process than, kind of our competitors.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds very interesting. Definitely utilizing the power of AI to automate things. It makes it a lot easier than, the manual updating day to day or week to week or however frequent each company decides to update their information. With AI, it's automated, so it's pretty much instantaneous. That's amazing.
Exactly.
What problem would you say Solentrex solves, and why would that matter to your customers?
Yeah, so I would say, there's a couple big issues right now in the space. One being the fragmentation of the different platforms that are being used. I mean, so there's right now a current, EPC, which is the installer of the solar. They're using 4 or 5 different systems just to be able to run their business. Using 4 or 5 different systems means manual transfers or relying on API hooks to actually bring in that data, but none of them talk to each other. And so there's lots of inefficiencies when it comes to that. Our platform streamlines everything. We've worked down our proposal software into only 2 steps. Again, giving a lot more time to the salesperson to focus on the sale, as well as then having all that data instantly transfer and be in one spot where both the salesperson and the EPC can see it. Because our customer really is 2 people. It's the EPCs and installers that are out there paying for the platforms and things like that, and that need it to actually install get the financing to the financing companies that. But at the same time, the sales dealers that go out and do the hard door knocking and everything like that, they need a platform that's easily trainable to their new hires and things like that, and allow them just to focus on selling, knowing that if they get something approved, it's going to go through, they can make their commission and things like that.
Right. And using your platform versus the conventional way of how they would do their sales and installation and all that, how much time would you say on average that Solentrex's platform could save a company from the start of the process to the end of the process?
So our proposal process, kind of like I mentioned before, is only 2 steps. So you can really get through that into a proposal showing, customer numbers in probably 60 seconds or less. Our competitors are kind of more at that 15 to 20 minute mark to be able to get it back. And again, it's sitting around having to have small talk, things like that. For us, we can actually run the whole process before they even get to the door. And so you're really saving a lot of time of unnecessary small talk, uncomfortable silence, things like that. And that'll make a big difference in the long haul.
Okay, wow, that's a big difference. So a big difference. That would allow you, for example, for a company doing that, then they can reach out to more customers in a day compared to the conventional way. So that's definitely amazing. Time saving and effective. Wow. That's amazing for you guys. Would you be able to share with us like a real world example of how a customer actually used Solentrex and got a meaningful result?
Yeah, so one of the kind of our front end piece, we built our whole stack on a CRM system, and so that allows everything to be in one spot. And what I mean by that is when you're pulling in documents, you're pulling in contracts, you don't have to then go look for them, try to search your different platforms. It's all right there, and a lot of times that those can get misplaced. So with the Solentrex platform, I know that there was a missing document on another platform, but they were able just to log in right into the customer 360 view, get that uploaded and financed, where before it would either have to go back to the customer, get a new DocuSign, get a new in-person wet signature, whatever it may be. And that saved them weeks at that point because of the fact that they could just log into one spot, know where everything's at, and get that off to the finance company, get that off to the utility provider, whatever it may be. It saved them a lot of time and a lot of hassle.
Yeah, that it definitely sounds efficient, very efficient. So with all of that, with your platform, how everything is set up and running now, what stage would you say Solentrex is in now, and what would you say growth looks like for you over the next 12 months?
So right now we are pre-revenue. We're in beta stage. We do our soft launch here with our EPC partners in about a month. So coming up here really quick. And then we'll be doing our hard launch at a door-to-door conference in Salt Lake City the third week in January. So we're very excited about that. We have a lot of people kind of sitting on the sidelines that we haven't onboarded yet. And that'll be the real hard launch for us in January to get them onboarded using the system, kind of in their more downtime now. And again, one of the things that a lot of these installers and sales dealers really love about the platform is the simplicity of the process, and there's not much training, not much tools that they don't need to use. It's point and click, you know exactly where to go, and next thing you're just selling. And that's what they want. They want a tool that's going to be simple with the accurate production numbers, and they can just focus on what they do best, which is selling. So we're expecting some really great growth over the next 12 months. We're looking, of really kind of being that next big player in the space. It's going to be a very, very next fun 12 months. The whole team is excited.
It sounds very interesting. I know you mentioned that you are hard launching later in January, and right now it's just the soft launch. So maybe this may not hold the same weight, but what would you say is the toughest part that you've had of getting Solentrex into the hands of your ideal customers so far?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the biggest thing is, there in any industry, there's a lot of people that come out saying they've got the next best tool, right? They don't really talk about a platform. They're like, oh, you got to try this tool, you got to try this tool. So a lot of these installers have sat there and gone through the pitch meetings, and it just wasn't a necessity. It was just more like, oh, this is pretty cool. All right, that's fine. What's been very beneficial for us is 3 of our directors have been in the space for quite some time, and they have a lot of connections, and especially through our advisory board now that we just built out with some of the major influencers and players in the solar and door-to-door space. We've had the first, very warm handoff, allowing us to really get in the door and show our software. Because once we actually got in the door and showed our software, the amount of eye-opening experiences a lot of these solar installers had really put us on their radar. And so, I think, the best thing I would say is creating a team and an advisory board that allows for those very warm introductions and kind of using their name, especially when you have the product to back it up.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like you mentioned, the simplicity of the software, I think that's what that's what got my attention right away. Just seeing like an all-in-one platform that is nice and easy to use. You don't have to, like you said, it's not individual tools. You have one-stop shop that incorporates all those tools in there. So I think that definitely would be beneficial for anyone who's looking for a platform to manage their business and help them grow their business as well. So speaking with that, uh, are there any bottlenecks you're experiencing around pipeline, outreach, or even lead conversion?
So I would say kind of our biggest, bottleneck or kind of worry for us really is going to be capacity exceeding, growth exceeding capacity. If we, that's one thing we're actually solving right now with one of our VC partners, is making sure that we're going to have that infrastructure ready for the kind of shift that's about to happen with the onboarding phase. The software is ready. We've hard tested it against 1 million concurrent users. Everything looks great there. It's going to be more of making sure that we're able to provide that white glove service of the onboarding process and making sure that we have enough staff to really handle our customers and future customers with the care that they deserve. And so that's one of the things we're working through right now, just to make sure we're ready for that.
Okay. And in terms of where you're operating, are you looking to do this in a specific state area, or you're looking anywhere countrywide?
So one of the benefits of us is we can cover all 50 of the states right now. So right out of the gate, we'll be able to service all 50 states. Granted, our headquarters here is in Scottsdale, Arizona. So we do have a lot of partners locally. But one of the great things about these trade shows, and obviously a lot of our directors have done blitzes in other places, we'll be reaching out to kind of a lot of the hot spots as well.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Definitely makes it easier, broadens your customer outreach that you can put out there. Okay. So now, where would you see the biggest opportunity or risk when it comes to scaling your go-to-market efforts?
The biggest risk, obviously, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, is obviously that growth exceeding our capacity. But I think as well is we are bringing something new and different to an industry that hasn't seen it fully yet. A lot of people are very used to using multiple platforms, using Band-Aids on certain things that shouldn't have Band-Aids and workarounds. So it's just being able to show that there is a simpler and easier way to do it, and getting that education out there to the different installers, letting them know like, hey, we are trying to help you with this software. Not trying to make your life more difficult by adding another one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. People sometimes can be resistant to new technology, new software. They're used to doing things in old ways, manual ways. So it takes a little bit of marketing and some advertising to get out there to show what you can offer to make their lives easier. So yeah, I think with some time it should pick up because things are evolving. AI is definitely being implemented a lot more day to day. There's lots of exposure to it right now. Social media, you see lots of people using it to make some funny videos or show how they have now automated a simple routine of going home and having it turn on your lights for you automatically, knowing when you're here, knowing you're leaving, knowing your patterns and routines. So it'd be the same thing just to get adopted to what you're offering. Yeah.
Exactly.
What advice would you give to professionals who want to get into this space, who maybe they want to start a platform? It doesn't necessarily have to be in solar, but just since you are using a digital platform, what advice would you give to someone who would like to do something similar as Solentrex?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing would just be making sure you do your due diligence, seeing if it's something that you're really willing to put in the effort and time into. We've been building this platform for almost 2 years now and just now getting to market. So it is something that you need to make sure that you're willing to commit 100%, put your time and effort into it. And I think the number one key to our success is having the team that we have. having teams from the industry, from outside of the industry, amazing software development partners, and all providing our own little perspective on the issues that are going on and how to use our experience from other industries and bring it into this one. So I think, as anyone would probably imagine, the biggest thing is really making sure you surround yourself with a core team that has a great vision, that are all aligned and willing to work together to get it done, whatever it takes.
And when you were going through the process, did you ever feel at any time like you wanted to just give up and leave it behind and move on to something else?
Oh, 100%. I think any entrepreneur would kind of tell you about that, their breaking points and things like that. And it's funny. One of the things that I started really doing was journaling my thoughts, and because I knew it one day I would look back and be like, wow, that was 6 months ago when I thought I was at rock bottom, and we made it through. Now 6 months later, we have a whole new problem that we have to deal with, and how do we get around it and things like that. One thing I will have to tout is my relationship with God really helped pull me through a lot of those dark times, and really trusting in a plan and believing in Him. And that really has been a huge benefit for me for the last probably year, when it's really been tough and grinding, and when you don't think that there's a way to turn, all of a sudden something happens. So it's definitely been a fun ride, and I can't wait to look back a year from now and remember how I was feeling on a certain day.
See, that's a good message. It pays, don't give up. So if you're out there and you're looking to do something, don't give up. You should just try. You never know, because you may not be happy with what you're doing today, and you might have all these amazing ideas, but unless you actually put forth that effort, get out there and try, you surprise yourself. And like you mentioned, you will have ups and downs. It will happen. It happens to the best of us and the worst of us. But as long as you stick it through, and as you have your inspirations, something will be there to inspire you, to help you get through. There's always a way. So never give up. That's what the lesson Michael's telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Never give up. You did mention one thing about your growth strategies and growth plan, that maybe your growth might exceed your capacity, and then also the fact of educating other installers out there on your platform. I'm thinking that listen to this is something that we actually kind of help with at KG Nexus AI, with outreach, which can help you solve with some advertising and marketing strategies. So if you're interested, I'd be happy to have a follow-up meeting with you where we can dive a little deeper into that and see how we can help each other in that space, if you're interested.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, outreach and marketing and being able to control those pipelines, that's going to be very crucial in any sort of growth capacity. So definitely sounds like right up our alley.
Okay, we will set up our appointment as soon as we end this. But before we go, tell the people where they can reach out to you, how they can find Solentrex, where they can see some visual demonstrations on what you guys do.
Yeah, so I would say, kind of our three main deals is one, LinkedIn, Solentrex Inc., or even, feel free to shoot me a follow, Michael Salorio. I'm sure we can throw that in the description. Feel free to reach out directly on LinkedIn. We've got our Instagram page, as well as our website, solentrex.com. Happy to set up demos for people that are interested, show them more of the platform in depth, and be able to keep continuing to spread our word.
Perfect. Amazing. I'll definitely throw the information and link in the description, so anyone interested, you'll be able to reach out to Michael and his team at Solentrex. Beautiful. It's been a pleasure. I'm grateful and happy you took the time to join me today. Hopefully this is a little inspiration for some of those who might be sitting on the fence on wanting to enter into the solar space, or even enter into a digital space where they're starting their own digital company. As you can see, Michael is living proof that it does work. With hard work, it will pay off, and you can bring your dreams to life. So Michael, I just want to thank you once again for joining us today, and I'll give you the final word.
No, Corey, I just, I really appreciate you having me on. And, again, kind of like you said, the inspiration for others. I mean, I've watched many of these podcasts, YouTube videos, things like that, and it really gave me the extra little push. And hopefully, Corey and I's message can get across to someone, and if we can change even one person's life, it's worth every second of this interview.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, Corey.